Picture an island city defined by sprawling, concentric rings of water and land. Its harbors are packed with merchant ships, and sunlight reflects off massive temples clad entirely in gold and silver. According to the ancient accounts, this empire commanded a navy capable of projecting power across the known world, backed by engineering techniques that dwarfed those of their contemporaries. Then a massive sequence of earthquakes and floods struck. In a single day and night of violent geological upheaval, the ocean swelled and swallowed the entire civilization. We are left with a lingering question. Did the sea actually claim a thriving, advanced empire, or are we chasing a 2,000-year-old piece of fiction? If a naval superpower dominated the ancient Mediterranean and Atlantic, we would expect to find their weapons, their pottery, or the stone foundations of their ports. Yet archaeologists have recovered exactly 0 physical artifacts belonging to the Atlanteans. Even the timeline creates a heavy burden of proof. The empire supposedly collapsed 9,000 years before a single written word about its existence ever appeared on parchment. Because there is no tangible debris to examine in a laboratory, investigators looking for answers have to work backward. We have to interrogate the one person responsible for introducing this story to the world. The entire concept of Atlantis originates in 4th century BCE Athens, specifically within 2 dialogues written by the Greek philosopher Plato. Plato provided distinct coordinates for his lost city. He placed the island in the Atlantic Ocean, positioned outside the Pillars of Hercules, what we know today as the Strait of Gibraltar. He documented their complex royal lineage, their exact canal measurements, and their military formations. But no other historian, poet, or record keeper from antiquity mentions this empire anywhere in their texts. Greek philosophers routinely constructed elaborate fictional societies to illustrate their ideas about governance, justice, and human nature. Since the historical texts offer us a sample size of exactly 1, historians are stalled. Finding the truth requires stepping away from ancient manuscripts and looking at the hard geological data of the Mediterranean. The seabed of the Mediterranean sits on a highly active tectonic boundary, a region with a long documented history of civilization-ending earthquakes and volcanic activity. The closest physical match to Plato's cataclysm took place around 1600 BCE on the island of Thera, modern-day Santorini. This chart maps the estimated explosive yield and ash distribution of the Thera eruption. It highlights an event hundreds of times more powerful than an atomic bomb, triggering massive tsunamis across the sea. Before the blast, Thera was home to the Minoans. Excavations at sites like Akrotiri reveal paved streets and multi-story structures buried under thick volcanic ash. Generations of sailors and traders passed down the memory of this thriving island obliterated by the earth. Over centuries of retelling, the destruction of Thera likely provided the historical blueprint for the legend of Atlantis. But a specific subset of explorers reject the Mediterranean theory entirely. Taking Plato's coordinates literally, they turn their attention westward, toward the dark abyssal plains of the Atlantic Ocean. To search the lightless ocean floor, scientific teams deploy heavy, remotely operated vehicles equipped with specialized mapping technology. By analyzing sonar, they visualize the seafloor. These readings detect rigid right-angle formations resembling walls or streets, but geologists must distinguish ruins from natural fault lines. Tectonic stress fractures bedrots into grid-like patterns, creating the illusion of sunken cities. Despite scanning many thousands of square miles of the deep ocean floor with the most sophisticated sensors available, nobody has ever verified a single sunken structural ruin matching Plato. So why do exploration teams continue to spend millions of dollars searching for a place that almost certainly does not exist? The true answer lies in human psychology. This diagram illustrates confirmation bias in action. When explorers deeply want to find a lost civilization, their brains automatically fill in the blanks, mentally reconstructing a jagged, naturally occurring rock formation into a symmetrical temple. We are left with a strange duality. We have massive, resource-intensive expeditions scouring the globe, all driven entirely by a single text written by a philosopher known for creating thought experiments. Reading Plato's dialogue purely as a literal treasure map misses the reason he wrote it in the first place. Plato used the legend to illustrate the inevitable moral and structural collapse that follows when an affluent, technologically superior state becomes consumed by its own greed. That warning resonates today just as loudly as it did in ancient Athens. As modern societies navigate rapid technological growth and mounting environmental pressures, the idea of an advanced empire causing its own destruction feels uncomfortably relevant. Atlantis operates as a psychological mirror for our own anxieties. It reflects our deep-seated fear that no matter how powerful or sophisticated a society becomes, it remains entirely vulnerable to the forces of nature. The Atlantis myth endures as a vital piece of human psychology, proving that a timeless lesson about ambition can outlast any physical monument.